Yo, what's up, guys? I'm gonna break down this Tiny Desk concert, and I'm gonna show the chords and show what he's playing, look at all the voicings, but also I'm going to analyze the song and the chord progressions and highlight the different songwriting tricks that he uses throughout all these songs and the arrangements. And he does all the tricks, all the super tricks. Cool. So I'm gonna break them down and look at each song with types of chord movements that you could use and apply them in your own songwriting. So we're going to look at diatonic movement, 5/1 resolutions, 4/4 minor resolutions, half step up resolutions, and diminished 7 resolutions. So we're going to learn the songs, learn the cool chords, and see just how we could take them apart and apply them to any other thing that we do, right? So the first song, it's in the key of E flat, and here's your diatonic movement right off the top of the bat. 1 to 2 to 3 to 5. E flat major 7, F minor 7, G minor 7, and then A flat with a B flat in the bass, which is basically, it is a 5 chord. It's a suspended 5th chord. It's a B 7 sus, which resolves to your E flat major 7. Okay, so the voicings, I'll show you those first. 6th fret A string, 6 going down, 6 8 7 6, barring the 6th fret. 6 8 7 8. Sorry, pinky right there. E major 7, F minor 7. A string on the 8th fret, 8, 9, barring the 8th fret, 9 on the B string, boom. And then we could use this voicing. I saw him using this, which is another minor 7 voicing, for the G minor 7. So on the A string, 10, 8, 10, 11. And then our B flat sus chord, or A flat with the B flat in the bass, slash chord, often seen. 3rd finger on the 6th fret, mute that A string, pinky on the 6th fret as well on the D string, 5 4, mute the high E. There we go, beautiful. So that's the first part. 1, 2, F minor 7. Bridge. A flat major 7, G minor 7. And then F sharp major 7 to F minor 7, and then B flat. And right back to that main chord progression. So let's look at those chords, and I'll talk about the theory behind that as well. A flat major 7. We're going to play this voicing on the low E string, 4, mute the A, 5, 5, 4, mute the high E. Okay, very common jazz voicing with the A string muted. And then G minor 7. Same voicing, but minor chord. 3, mute the A, barring across the 3rd fret, 3 3 3. You can hit the high E too. So it starts off with that, repeating 3 times, I believe. 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2. Right, just back and forth. Okay, so now our F sharp major 7. Same major 7 voicing as we did before. 9, 11, 10, 11, 9, barring across 9. F minor 7. And B flat major, just regular B flat major chord. You can do 7 if you want to. We'll get into that a little bit later. So now, the chord wise, theoretically, it's a 4 chord in the key of E flat. A flat is a 4 chord to the 3. So it's going 4 major 7 to 3 minor 7. And that movement is good to notice anytime you're playing a song to catch the key signature. Anytime you're going from a major 7 chord down a half step to a minor chord, diatonically that always signals 4 chord, major, which also for this next part, why it makes it pop so much. So this F sharp major 7 is out of key, but it resolves nicely to F minor 7. And then when we get to the B flat, it changes keys again. Because our F sharp major 7 to F minor 7 puts us in the key of B minor. So it sounds right diatonically. But when we go to the B flat major, it makes it bright. And it's very similar to that that very common movement going from a B flat. I would go from flat 6 major, flat 7 major, right? So it's taking a minor scale diatonic movement and ending on major. So if I'm on B flat minor, that's diatonic. But if I go diatonic minor until I get to that last chord. Same thing here. Diatonic. The last chord ends major. And it's great here because that major chord pulls you into that's the 5 of the E flat key that we're originally in. So for just that quick moment, the F sharp minor, or F sharp major 7 pulls us out of the key. And it gives us this B flat minor feel. And that B flat right back to... Cool. So, and then that's also our 5-1 resolution, right? B flat to E flat is our 5-1 resolution. And then going through it does the verse and then the bridge again. Right before that A flat, it does a break. It goes, and it falls into our A flat, which is our half step up movement that we could always do. It's a major 7 chord, A major 7, just down a half step to resolve right there. So from that verse going into that bridge, we're going E flat, F minor, G minor, 7. Oops. Our B flat, sus. It kind of falls into it. It's just a piano doing it, but you know, same chord, so you could just apply that on your own. B flat, ba, ba, ba. So that first time it did a half step up, it was a major 7 chord. So the exact same chord, just up 1 fret. And then there's another moment right around there. It does this movement. It goes up diatonic, F minor 7, G minor 7. And instead of just going all the way up to the A flat, it actually does this A 7 flat 5. So if we want to play that chord, middle finger, 5, mute the A, 5, 6, 4. And that right there is a flat 5. So it's cool. It's kind of doing two things there. It's making an extra move instead of just going. Right? I could just go like that. More attention, which is nice. So those are two things that you could do. And then it goes through the whole ditty, goes back to our E flat or B flat right before that verse, and they hit this B7 sharp 5 before we get back to that E flat major 7. So our B7 sharp 5 is 6, 6 on the D string, skipping the A, 7, 7. kind of does all the different moves here with the 5 to the 1, the B flat to the E flat, our 5-1 resolution. A flat with a B flat in the bass was just suspended. Or we could do a regular major chord, gives it a little bit more pull. Or we could do a 7 chord, take our pinky away of our bar chord, a little bit more tension, and then add a altered tone, which is even more. So let's just take a look at that. Suspended. Cool. Major. 5 to 1. It's dominant 7. And then dominant 7 with a sharp 5. Any kind of altered tone. Yeah. And at the very end, they do this suspended chord. And then make it altered a little bit more by taking this little triad right here and moving it back. So our original chord, the sus chord, 6, mute, 6, 5, 4, 4. And then we're going to push these 2 fingers back a string, or a fret. So 6, mute, 6, 4, 3, 3. That's a very common move. And we end on these 2 different voicings for E flat major 7. This one, where we're barring the 3rd fret, no E string, 6, 5, 3, 3, 3. And we can go right back to that original voicing that we started with. Alright, now the next song, Pluto Projector, key of C major. He starts off with just a bar chord, C major bar chord, E minor 7, just like we did before, F major 7, just like we did before as well, and this G7 chord. So it's like the major 7 chord, just no middle finger. 10, 12, 10, 12, 10. And then you bring your pinky up on the B string up to the 13th fret to do a 7 sus, and right back. Right. And the picking pattern we could do, thumb on the low E string, middle ring finger on the B, and then alternating between the index on the D string. How's it go? How are we doing this? Yeah, okay, sorry. So, E, low E and B string, G string, thumb, E and D string, and then G. Yeah. E and B, open G, E and D, open G. And same thing for each chord. F major 7, G7, sus, back to that. That's the main part of the verse. C major 7, E minor 7, and theoretically that's 1, 3, 4, 5, sus 5 to 5. So right there we have our 5-1 resolution, and then after that, kind of whatever at the end of the verse, we go from our G7 down to our F major 7, which is a beautiful voicing. 8, 7, 9, 8. And we just take this index finger on the D string and move it down to the 6th fret. And that's our 4 chord to 4 minor. So we're taking this 5 chord, the G, not resolving it, going to the 4 minor, then, yeah. And that's a funny minor chord. It's a minor major 7, which sounds nice, strong. Okay, cool. And then from there, he does that. He goes into this bridge part. where basically he just goes all over the place with the key, but essentially he just changes to F major 7, the key of F, which it's great. So he starts with the F major 7, which is the 4 of C, so it already feels natural. We don't quite feel a key change yet. Then E diminished 7 down to D minor 7. So we got our F major 7, we know that. E diminished 7, 7, 8, 6, 8, and then D minor 7, D dominant 7 by adding our pinky to the 7th fret, G minor 7, F sharp major 7, and then back to F major 7, right? So those chords again, F major 7, E diminished, D minor 7, D dominant 7, which is just D7, G minor 7, F sharp major 7, and F major 7. So we could look at multiple ways multiple things that are happening here in terms of the movement. F major 7, that's cool, whatever. E dominant or E diminished 7 down to the D minor 7. That's a diminished move we could always do. Diminished 7 a whole step up always resolves. So if I wanted to do resolve it to an F major 7, I would take G diminished, right? Or if I wanted to resolve to G minor 7, I would do A diminished. Okay, so we got that resolution, E diminished to D minor 7, and then we go D7 to G minor 7. That's a 5-1. And we could have done D minor 7 to G minor 7. That's also a 5-1. But to make that major and dominant, gives a stronger pull. So we're doing a 5-1 there. And then finally our half step up resolution, F sharp major 7 to F major 7. So whole step or half step up and then resolve right down. So we have our diminished, whole step up to that, our dominant 5 to 1, and then our half step up, major 7. Yeah. So it's just like he's just resolving doing these tension and release resolutions throughout this whole progression. And if you analyze it a little bit more, it actually is a basic 3-6-2-5-1 progression, which if you look up anything about jazz, maybe you know about a 5-1, maybe you know about a 2-5-1, but it just goes back in fifths. So it's always like a fifth movement that really has a strong resolve. So 3-6-2-5-1. And if we look at these chords, in the key of F major 7, we have F major 7, E diminished 7, which if we put the A right there, which A is the 3 of F major 7, if we put an A over the top of a E diminished chord, that makes a A dominant 7 flat 9, which is our 3 chord, and then takes us to D minor, which is our 6, and then our F minor 7, which is our 2. And then for F major 7, that's our flat 5 substitution, which is commonly used. So instead of a 5 chord, which in the key of F would be C7, we take the flat 5 of that. See, the flat 5 of that is F sharp or G flat, and that resolves. So we go through that whole progression. And it's basically just kind of, it's a 3-6-2-5-1. It's all in the key of F, but it's just got these added tones that give it more tension, right? That's a 3-6-2-5-1, just completely diatonic. 3-6-2-5-1. Okay, So now let's see if I did start at the 1. I just kind of did those same roots, put the A in the root. Okay, now his progression. Yeah, just a little bit more juicier. Okay, so from there, he's on our F major 7, and then he switches keys to same progression now, but now in B flat. And if we think about F is the 5 of B flat, so that's kind of a comfortable movement going from here. It doesn't feel as crazy. It doesn't sound like, it's not as strong because it's major 7, it's not a dominant 7, but so it still works. Okay, so we're going from there. Let's see. So now in the key of B flat major 7, we got B flat major 7. Now I'm going to do it up here. Pinky on the 13th fret, A string, 12, 10, 10, 10. And then A diminished on the A string, 12, 13, 11, 13. G minor 7. Then add your pinky down on the 12th fret for major or dominant 7. And then C minor 7. B flat major 7. Or B major 7 to B flat major 7. Same chord progression in the key of B flat. B flat major 7, A dominant diminished 7, G minor 7, G dominant 7, C minor 7, B flat major 7, B major 7, B flat major 7. And the very last part, what is that? Yeah, okay, so now D minor 7. Yeah, just at the very ending, he hangs on his B flat major 7, and the very last chord progression, or movement, whatever. D minor 7 on the 5th fret, D minor 7 flat 5 on the 5th fret, that's on the A string 5, 6, 5, 6, C minor 7 on the 3rd fret, B flat major 7, that, yeah. Which also reminds me, I almost missed this part. So in the beginning part, the main chord progression, when he comes back to the verse, C, E minor, F major 7, F sharp diminished, half diminished, F sharp minor 7 flat 5 also is another name for it, and G7. So he does this movement from the F major 7, F sharp minor 7 flat 5 to that, which is dope. I haven't heard that before, and it makes a lot of sense because we have it's like a 5-1, inverted 5-1, because we have our F major 7 and F minor 7 flat 5. If we put a D in the bass, that would be D9, which is the 5 of G. So we're just doing a D9 without the root when we do an F sharp minor 7 flat 5. Yeah, so that's that same shape. Yeah, I thought that was cool. So from that, so he's just taking that minor 7 or major 7 chord and bringing the root on the A string up a half step, up 1 fret. Yeah, there's a lot to pack there, but it's dope, man. There's some interesting stuff. Okay, now Always is a interesting song with the chords and everything. So I'm going to kind of show you more about the harmony as opposed to what the guitar player is actually playing, just so you could hear all of it. So it's in C sharp major, C sharp, C sharp 7 with the B in the bass. That's the 7th scale degree. So it's like walking down. Then F sharp. Then D sharp with a G in the bass. And it kind of repeats C sharp. C sharp with a B in the bass, which makes it a dominant 7. F sharp major. D sharp with the 3rd in the bass. And then the second time, C sharp with a B, F sharp with a G sharp in the bass. Classic slash chord, back 5 back to 1. Yeah, so we're looking at 1 dominant to the 4, and then this thing, it's kind of funny. Later on, it goes to the A flat, so that's kind of what it's doing. The D sharp, or actually it's E, but yeah, D sharp to the G sharp. Yeah, it's like a 5 to 1, but it's unresolving until later in the song, which gives it a cool vibe, right? So C sharp, 5 to 1, so it takes it to the 4 chord, and then this D sharp is the 5 of G sharp, which is the 5 of C sharp. Let's not get crazy. Anyways, C sharp, F sharp, D sharp, second time, C sharp, F sharp with a G sharp in the bass. Now next section, we're going F sharp, C sharp, quick G, F sharp, F sharp with a G sharp in the bass. All just major chords. Yeah, so just kind of like look at the F sharp's a 4, and just kind of going out for a moment, then back in, then C sharp back to 1, quick G, which is like our half step resolution, put that G sharp in the bass, and we got our back to our progression. And then this time around, from that D sharp and G in the bass, we're going to get a G sharp, and it does this move, it's just expanding on that 5 chord. So we're doing G sharp, regular 5, G sharp with an A sharp in the bass, and then G sharp with a C in the bass, which is the 3rd. That's just our, technically it'd be a B sharp. Let's not worry about that. That's still the 5 chord, just inverted. 5. And everything about these inversions, it's just that bass movement. Yeah, it's nice. So if we even look at it from the beginning, listen to the bass. C sharp, C sharp 7 with the B in the bass, F sharp, let's do this over again. Yeah, it's cool. And then our little bridge part, we go to E flat minor. I guess I should say D sharp minor. To G sharp, C sharp, C sharp 7, F sharp. No, our slash chord. F sharp with a G sharp in the bass. That's our 5 to 1. Yeah, repeats, does our whole thing. F sharp 4, G sharp 5 to C sharp, man. That's that one, dude. It's kind of weird, it's kind of crazy, but it's a good one to kind of look at with the bass movement and seeing how that affects the chords. I don't know how else to talk about that one any more than that. But it's pretty, man. It's cool. It's got some vibes. Yeah. So I hope you learned something from this. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments section, or on IG, on Patreon. Like and subscribe this. Check out my Patreon if you want some extra lessons and backing tracks, and if you just want to support me and see more and better content. Check that out. See what I got going on over there, and play that music, and just keep the love alive.